square?
Sound, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, stick a hemshich, finishing off what we discussed last week. Last week we were discussing the dinim of kosher and matu, tying and untying knots on Shabbos. What's kind of was that a knot which is meant to last forever is a issur deraisa, and even if it's not meant to last forever, it can still be asur midrabanan if it's meant to last more than 24 hours, or if it's a craftsman's knot, a professional knot. That's where we left off. If it's neither of those, if it's meant to be for less than 24 hours and it's not a professional knot, which practically just means a bow on top of when you tie your shoes. That's one of the few options we have available. That's okay. That is okay. So the question, the few things we need to finish off is the Chaynin talking about what's the deal with twist ties on bags, and also they have zip ties. Everyone knows what zip ties are.
Ziploc bag.
Wow, zip ties.
It's a plastic strip.
The longer you pull, the harder you pull, the tighter it gets. The kivun achad.
But that's not a tie. That's not a tie.
But you're making something so kayama.
So that's the point.
So the zip, right? So everyone knows zip tie. It's a long plastic strip, has a bunch of teeth, a bunch of small slots. So when you zip it in, it locks into place. And it's strong. I think the officers use them as handcuffs when they run out of. Also,
that's why they call it a zikvanim.
Oh yeah.
Azikim is a handcuff.
Fine. So where does the discussion start
That's
from?
not
So the
zip ties. Zip ties are
there's twist ties and zip ties.
Yeah.
It's a zip ties. Zip ties is what
It's a long,
police use.
a plastic strip. You used to lock things.
When they're in a riot, they have a lot
I know, but that's called a zip tie?
They have different sizes. They come in all different sizes.
I know what they look like, but I thought that's something. Okay.
So usually,
You have another name for it that you use, but not what other people call it. Bekitzer, yeah. Doesn't like the way it's worded.
So starting with the twist tie. So Pashas, you would think it's not really a knot. You're just twisting it. But there was some the makar, the issue comes from the Rambam, and the Rambam says that someone twists rope strings together in order to make a thicker rope. It's like tying a knot. He twists ropes together to make a thicker long rope.
If I get via,
That's
that's what via is about.
Yeah, it's a nice of kosher.
You're creating something. You're making.
It's different than what.
So when you make two, in order to make a tzitzis, you have to put two ceiling. So it's called via. So that's called kosher also.
So Shaila, sometimes it could be clear. One is a kosher, one is a clear. Prima Governor says depends on the size. If it's smaller strings, it could be clear. If it's thicker strings, it's going to be kosher.
Clear?
Braiding.
But if it's just twisting, that's not braiding. Braiding is something.
Right. So they get into when you say one is a kosher, one is a so.
You're saying a tie without a kasher, if it's forever.
If you twist the rope enough and the rope stays twisted rope, that's kosher.
Where's twisted?
How do you make strings? You take a bunch of smaller strings.
Not talking about that. I'm talking about the other thing with that ziploc.
We didn't get there yet. Soon. First, let's discuss the twist tie.
Oh, twist.
So this is the din of the Rambam. So the Rambam, something the makar of the Rambam isn't so clear. It's not brought in the other Rishonim. This din of the Rambam, and the Shulchan Aruch doesn't bring it down, but the Magen Avram brings it down, and Alter Rebbe brings it down. This din, la halacha. It's in the first Maramakin. Alter Rebbe says, "Hapeisel chavolim mikol min sheyiyeh." Someone who twists ropes from any material it may be. He's chayiv mishum kosher. It's the rice of kosher. The shiuri li is chayiv min atayra kadei sheyamid hachel b'psilase b'leik shira. And what's the shira? How much do you need to do in order to be chayiv min atayra? It's in order to twist it enough that it'll stay the way it is without a knot at the end. Shenim says melachtim iskayemis. Because then it lasts. It's not midiraisa. Ava midivrei seifrim. It's aser l'chol shehu. Midrabanan it's aser with any knot.
This is you have to be very careful because you could sometimes be sitting and playing with without really thinking. You're playing with something.
You just twist something.
You're twisting it, and you could be over. certainly on a Medrabanan.
Right. Saying, I don't know the din of misasik so much. If you're misasik.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean you have to have kavanah to do it?
I don't know the din of misasik, but yeah, you do have to be careful. Yeah. The geen hamafi bipsil, hapsil. So someone splits it apart. Schai mishum matir.
Again, you got to be careful with playing. You take a row or tzitzis or something, and
you pull it apart. Yeah.
You're not going to do it because you don't want to be destroyed.
But if the tzitz is split at the end and you want to twist it back together, that would be an issue according to this.
Oh yeah, that's an issue on many different.
And the plastic bags for the challah.
The twist ties. Oh, so it's not a kesher. It's not a kesher midaraisa, but is it? Maybe it's midarabana. Kesher, if it's meant to last forever, then you have a shayla midaraisa. If it's not to last forever, fine. So it's not a kesher shel kayama, but maybe it's still a kesher which is more than 24 hours, and it'll still be also midarabana. V'shira kasher peisel. Who shall escape from the calcal? And the only one when you're chai is only if you're not intending to destroy it. Shekal calcal and p'tur min ha'teira ava also midirayisayim. But it's still also midarabbanan. So the shaila comes up in the later training. Is do you say that these twist ties is the same thing as peisel chavalim, or is it different? And even if you say that doing the twist ties is the same thing that the Rama is talking about as twisting the ropes, but what if I'm not doing it what if I'm only doing it for less than 24 hours? If I'm only doing it for less than 24 hours, maybe it's okay. So the next question is, when is the kesher mutter if it's less than 24 hours? We said only there are two conditions. That first of all, it's for less than 24 hours. Second of all, it's not a professional or a craftsman's knot. So even though I say it's a knot, so what if you're doing for less than 24 hours? This are twist ties. Are you going to consider that a professional knot? But the Rambam was talking about twisting the rope. That's a profession. That's something not that you need a craftsman to do that. But these twist ties, do you also say that's a professional knot? Is it the exact same thing, and it's going to be also even if it's for less than 24 hours? So some people placing they want to be Malamed Schus on people. There's a tshuva from the Shevet HaLevi. He wants to be Malamed Schus. He says he's not making himself. He wants to be Malamed Schus on the people who use the twist ties on Shabbos for even more than 24 hours. First, one thing he wants to say that first of all, not everyone passes like this Rambam. After Rebbe Taka brings it down, but he wants to say that Shulchan Aruch doesn't bring it down. And a lot of the Achrein, the Mishnah Berurah and Kiveiger asked that there's a contradiction to this din of the Rambam. There's a din in Simon Yadalid that if you want to open up a package to take out food, so it says you could undo the rope, the ropes, the knots on it. And the Sim Pashas means like you could take it apart, which is an issue according to the Rambam. You're not allowed to undo a rope. So that's one limit. So I'll say all the places can hold like this in the Rambam that if you twist ropes, you're chayiv. That if you twist or untwist strings together, you're chayiv mishum kaisher. But that's not going to help us because the Rambam Alter Rebbe does pass like this.
There's different kinds.
Yeah, well.
Ropes that you twisted together were usually dry and hard, and then if you're tying a bag, usually it's something softer. It's not something so hard. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to make a knot. You wouldn't be able to tie it. How dry? I'm saying average rope. I'm saying you have twine rope. Those are pretty dry. You could tie it, no? They don't stay together, you said. Okay, whatever. Go ahead. Continue.
So he has a few limudis chusim. Another thing, the Shevet HaLevi. Yeah, other limudis chus. This part I brought inside. You want to say that who says a chama made a gzeira on such a knot which wasn't meant to last forever? Not a common knot. You make a normal knot, which is a derech to make. So then the chama made a gzeira, even if you didn't make it last forever, still also midrabanan. This was something common. But twisting ropes. It wasn't such a common thing. Only the craftsmen, only the people who make ropes.
Maybe it's called like a gzeira.
So maybe Chacham never made a gzeira for such a thing. So this is Limud Schus in the second Maramakim. He says, "Ivra diish l'tzad kula mikam time." So he's giving makel for a lot of reasons. Chada, one, the hum of word b'Shabbos kufiyud beis amar aleph v'nifsak lahalacha and simchin yazayin. The shleisha ksharim yesh. There are three types of knots. Ones that's asur midaraisa, ones that are mutter, and ones that are asur midrabanan. The kesher shu asur is man katzer ve'ein la'ilam, and a knot which is only meant for a short time, not forever. Ein ba'el isu derabanan. It's only asur midrabanan. So Eival Zayishlim, right? The Zeli Nigzer El Kesher Rogil Mamish. this gzeira they only made with a knot which people were accustomed to doing. Which was common. It's not clear in any place that they also made this gzeira, which was not meant to last forever. Also in this case, in this told of twisting rows, which the Rambam mentions. So he wants to be more on the that people that use the twist ties, even they use it for more than 24 hours, maybe it's still okay. He says in the ends off, he said he's not making himself, but he wants to be more on the twist.
On the twist tie?
On the twist tie. However, the Maisa, most of the a lot of the Chayim, they want to be they say that if it's less than 24 hours, you could do it. Because even though the Rambam seems to hold that twisting this rope is a professional knot, but to say that even the twist ties is also professional knot, something you just do a few twists, everyone does it in their house, to say that that's also a professional knot, that's a big stretch. They say they don't think it's a professional knot, but Al Kapanim, if it's less than 24 hours, you could be makel and assume that it's not a professional knot.
Twist rope, that it should stay that way, takes a lot of doing. It's not push the thing to make
I have no idea how they do it.
No, I'm saying you take 3 ropes and you just twist it. It's going to come undone right away. It's not going to stay.
You don't know what they had in those times.
Huh?
You don't know what they had in those times.
What they
And the
had?
only reason why the twist ties today stay is because they have a piece of iron over there.
But what I'm saying about the gather of the Rambam talking about twisting rope.
Obviously, in
play
those times,
around.
in
What
those times, it stayed. Or else
No, today also what? There's no rope today. There's rope today. But I'm saying in
No,
order
but
to
obviously, in
move
those times, it stayed because that's why.
Right,
well,
he's
that's
just
the
trying
only
to say
reason
it's
why-
a hard skill. It's not such an easy thing to do.
When we today
Therefore, it's
also,
different.
if you want rope to stay twisted, you have to work at it. It's not
Correct.
so. That's
why it was us because obviously.
That's why the Rambam says it's us.
you're not
Because
arguing,
that's
same
the same
thing.
thing. We're saying the same thing.
same
I'm
thing.
trying
Well,
to
say
say that
therefore
by
the
a twist
twist-
tie, it's certainly not in that category.
Yeah,
You really have to apply yourself to get rope to stay.
No, but twist tie too. If you keep it there, if you're storing it,
You could
right.
make it.
So if
you
you're
could
doing it for
use
less than
to
24
apply rope.
hours, so this is the different outside in the third man. Okay, he wants to be makel. He ends off. He says, first of all, this is how we're not sure what's a professional knot, and therefore we're machmir with all strong knots, like a double knot. He says, first of all, it's a chumrah, or machmir. But to be machmir so much that even a twist tie is a professional knot, he says that's too much. And the third man, he says, Al-Kapanim is the hidus ba'olma hu kalashin ramah. The issue of making 2 knots. It's a zahidus for extra machmir. In Cain, since even that is a chumrah, Al-Kapanim b'keileya, when it comes to twisting the strings, the twist ties, if it's not, so you could be makel, assume that it's not a professional knot, and it's less than, and if it's less than 24 hours, it's okay. Just like you can tie your shoes if it's for less than 24 hours, using a twist
But
tie.
now he's not talking about to undo it. You know, when you get the challah bags on, to undo them.
Oh, so you're bringing up what if when you buy the challah bags from the store? So how long was the twist tie tied on it before then?
Now you see,
What's the depth? Usually they don't want it to be too long.
Sometimes I go to the bakery and like a chila, what they just do one. And I ask him why you do one. He says so you don't have a problem on Shabbos opening it. They just go one time. That's
Say
it.
some people if you only twist it once, it's a patient.
Because it won't stay. If it moves around a lot, it will come off.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe I don't remember seeing such a word. Maybe it could be some people say that.
Which one? This one.
But how? Could be asked if he is the. Understand? He's a inner of the sons. Nowadays, he's reasonable.
I'm a Turk.
So I don't know. What's usually how long when you buy the rolls? How long are they usually more than 24 hours old?
If it's
supposed to be.
Depends.
Not supposed to be.
Not supposed to be.
bread.
So by the time you use those, so you buy every
Then you buy it.
Shabbos and use it
Depends
Shabbos
you buy it.
day.
And the 1 years
So it
ago, they
could
didn't
be-
have plastic bags. So they didn't get back. But the stuff was fresh every day. You didn't buy yesterday, but if you did, it was hard. It was old bread you have to put into soup or something to make it soft. Nowadays we have plastic bags, but even until recently, yesterday's bread was considered yesterday's bread. You paid less.
Right. So, Shaz, what if you knew it was less than 24 hours? You bought it Shabbos and you're using it Shabbos day. I'm saying, or you bought it Thursday. I don't know. Let's say you bought it Thursday. Now you're using it Friday night, Shabbos day. You know it's more than 24 hours. So in the Achreinim, I don't know, the Chaydes doesn't stem with the Alter Rebbe and Chaim no. Like say but a lot of the Chayim want to say, what's the din if a salesman tied something, made a knot, but he's only tying it only until the person buys it. So he has no intention for it. He doesn't want it to last. He doesn't need it to last for a long time. It's just until the person buys it. Is that considered kesher shel kayama, which was intended to last more than 24 hours, or since the whole intention was only to let it be there until the person buys it, it's okay?
Maybe a kesher shel kayama to work. I mean, if a child of 5 years old can open it, so you know it's not kesher shel kayama.
And no, but kayama over here isn't how strong it is. The kayama is how long did you intend it to last for? To be a kesher could even be a loose knot. Even if the knot is loose, if it's tied, it's still a knot.
His intention was 10 minutes, hoping that you would buy it.
Also,
he's not looking to sell old bread. He's hoping to sell it now as quick as possible.
Also, if that was his intention, and a lot of times people buy it right away.
Everybody wants to sell as quick as possible.
He's definitely right. If you're going
to the store buying bread today, when you need it today,
the guy's not hoping. He's hoping tomorrow you come and buy another one.
Yeah, but the shaila here is how long is the kesher going to be open, especially when you buy Erev Shabbos.
No, what was his kavanah?
So the question is what the derech is. The question is what's the derech? If the derech of all of these rules and these different things that people usually buy it, a lot of times people buy it within 24 hours. So then, and it's common. So then it's okay. Alter Rebbe says when it comes to tying your shoes, by Talmidei Chachamim, they would sleep with their shoes on all week. Only once in a while they would take it off. So Alter Rebbe says it's not considered kesher shel kayama. Let's say you tied it stam without any specific intention. You didn't have in mind they're going to take it off within 24 hours. You just tied it.
Last week you said it's a kesher shel kayama. If I leave my shoes tied like this.
Right, but Alter Rebbe says, what if someone usually leaves it for more than 24 hours, but sometimes he takes it off also within 24 hours. Sometimes. It happens, not always. He didn't have in mind, sometimes did it like this, sometimes like this. So Alter Rebbe says if you tied it stam without any specific intention, it's okay. Since sometimes it's common for him also to undo it within 24 hours.
Interesting.
So he didn't clearly have in mind to leave it for longer, so it's okay, since sometimes he doesn't. So I guess the question with the zip tie, if they put it on the chalamax, if the derech is saying they sell it, usually a lot of times they get sold within 24 hours. So you can say that'll be okay. Even if it stayed there for more than 24 hours.
But his intention was. And the derech is that you're hoping it's getting sold.
So it's okay, unless the derech of this thing you're buying is that it stays for more than 24 hours. Let's say it's not a food thing, it's something else which you...
Cookies stay more than bread, for example.
Okay. Yeah, but if the derech is that
it's by Friday for Shabbos, so it's already 24 hours.
But if the derech is that it's already on the shelves within 24 hours and people are buying it, so the is okay to undo the twist ties.
What cookies have a tie on it?
It's such a shkir. Everything is twist
Right. Unless you have those little plastic pieces.
A lot of places use this because they use plastic.
What's that company they used to use? The roll up the top, and then you push the sides in.
Right.
Ostrich cookies.
That's right.
They did it right. That's it. There was no twisting. They had it calculated. Now you have all the famous brands. They don't care no more. Let's get Ostrich back in business. They're still in business.
So it's going back. So if it's less than 24 hours, the twist ties are okay. It's going right there. So with the zip ties, the zip ties is a much bigger stretch. Twist ties is like this. But zip ties here, there are no knots. You're just locking into place. It's what type of pashas? I don't know. You think it's not a knot? I would think it's not a knot.
This is in the Svara or in the bottom line?
This is in Svara. And there, I found there are some people want to say that it's also an issue. One of it is Shivas Mishnah Yisif from a guy. He wants to say that it's also.
It should be an issue.
Why should it?
It should be an issue.
Usually tying a knot, you're twisting it.
You're not
twisting
tying
strings.
Why is it not usher? Because it held things together, and that's what they did by the Mishkan.
Who says holding things?
What's the difference how they held the things together?
No.
Holding things together.
Why you going like this?
Because I'm Jewish.
They tied up with the tie. That's the way they did it.
That's the way they did it. But what did they do? What did they do? They tied something together.
Don't analyze things and go simple.
Okay, fine. So that's what he wants to say. But whatever, to me, I was surprised when I saw it. Whatever, it's not like it's whatever. I'll say as usual. I'll say in the fourth Maramokin, this is a Chuv Mishnah says. So he wants to say it's an issue. He says b'machtavi mistapik ma aylos kvitei rasa im mutter b'sham sliksha b'chut plastic hanika azikoin. They call it azikoin in Hebrew sheshamati shehu chut. He heard it's a string imrak shinayim, has just little teeth shemachnisim b'chur shebekseyu hashini, and you stick it into a hole which is at the other end. Be'eshel hachnisa, and you can put it in. Avoleil hitziah, but it won't come out. Ki hashinayim. The teeth will only let you put it in. It doesn't let you take it out.
It's a zip tie.
Yeah, zip tie. So I guess in Hebrew they call it azikoin. So he says in the third paragraph, Nidish is a kosher gomer. He wants his kosher gomer, and it could be Nidish a daisa.
But no one uses it. It's a suggestion to put it on, or the only way to get it off is to cut it.
Right, so if you cut it, if you
Who doesn't use it? Why would someone use it in Shabbos?
right, but
Well, there was-
Well,
the question is asking the question.
You can't put it on?
no. If you're not allowed to tie, you're not allowed to open either.
Oh, okay.
Why, you need it?
Matir, no?
No, if you need it,
it's
you
good.
cut it.
If you
cut it.
call it kosher,
So you could cut
You're allowed to
it.
cut it now.
So you're not cut on
You're
Shabbos.
allowed to cut it now. If you
Well,
need
you're
the, if you
not
need
allowed-
what's inside.
why?
now.
According to you,
if
anything
Why?
you
Why?
undo, you're undoing things. According to you, Shani, you're undoing things.
that saying with
It only works one way, it doesn't work the other way.
the last paragraph,
Yeah,
the 10th
it's
Maramokim over there, the Alter Rebbe says that a kesher shel kayama, if you cut it, if you cut the kesher shel kayama, it's also asr
I'm sorry to say
mishum.
according to me.
It's also asr mishamatir. Cutting the knot is also asr
The
mishamatir.
knot or the rope.
So l'chayda, it sounds like l'chayda Alter Rebbe means cutting the actual knot. L'chayda just cutting the rope. L'chayda is
If you
okay.
need what's inside, right?
Rip the bag.
You need what's inside. You can rip
Yeah.
the bag or you can cut the string.
Yeah, okay, just cutting the string is okay. So, but do you want to say that
That's the
he's
same thing over
closing?
here, Rabbi Reba. If you would be part of the
I
conversation.
am. I want to see who this
There's no-
Mishnah says.
Okay, there's no. What I'm saying, it's like any. Excuse me, it's like any knot. You're cutting open
Let's see if
the
we
rope.
I can rely on this guy.
There's also they bring the zakavos mi base Levi. They bring them psakim from Vosner. Shul Vosner. So there they say that he also said not to use these things on Shabbos. Yeah, so he didn't write it true, but he wrote Bishmaim that he said it. So let's finish what he writes. He said, "Nir shezeh kesher gamad habi inan kesher shel kayama." This we need a kesher. The hada inan kesher kayama shu kesher gamad kesher. This we see in order to be a permanent knot, it needs to be a double knot. Ain't like zaydas hakasel. It's not just hakasel. It has to be a double knot. Elo sheba ifin zeh habi kesher shel kayama shurei lami yom rabin. The only reason you need a double knot is because this is how it stays for a long time. Even king gamin the nidan. Even though you don't have a knot, but it could stay for a very long time. So you could also consider it a kesher. And he wants, so whatever, this is what he said. The next thing he brings up is what about lulav rings? Making a lulav ring, is that also a kesher? So I'm not sure if he's referring to the same type of lulav rings we make. The way that-
he is.
Yeah.
He is.
So we go, the meno isim kesher al gabi al yedei beis holy lulav.
And you take them in zealous too.
Okay, I don't know, I make them out of one.
That's the same difference. It's you're cutting.
Original, what's
It's the
made
same
out of two.
thing. You're making out of one, but it's intended to be a
I
kayama.
learned that the kid was two. You should make it out of two.
It's the same thing. Make it out of one. You bend it, and then you end up with the same loop.
Yeah, but it's
the intent
interesting.
of the loop
Yeah,
is-
but Mendel, it's interesting. He doesn't talk about the fact that you're holding the Abba Minim together. He talks about putting the two pieces of
What's the problem holding it together?
It said ubeigu halulu. I don't know.
What's the problem connecting it about holding them together? So you weren't buying anything, you weren't...
I'm taking if I take that single one the way we do it, and then we turn it around to hold
Just,
all the, to hold
just
all the-
creating this ring is already an isser, I would imagine, because it becomes an Indian of kayama.
So making the ring, the taka is a knot. That makes sense. That making the ring, the holes, it's tight. It's pretty tight. That makes sense. It's a knot. But what if you're just pulling it through the holes, wrapping it around? Is that also tying a knot?
If you're just
Once you put it and you slip it through the hole and you put it through a few times.
once
that tie it down,
when
no?
it was made already. You're saying it was made, the ring was made already.
Yeah. So making the ring, so that makes sense. It's a knot. But what about just wrapping it
But
around
your
the hole?
kavanah here is to be kayama.
Your kavana, but is it a kesher?
That's like someone thinking a rope, tying it around the back.
So he wants to say that the zip
Why
ties
do
is a
you make it
kesher,
tight?
so for sure a lulav ring is a kesher. If you want to say zip ties is a kesher. What?
People take a rope, they tie it around the back a few times, and then the last time they just shove it in and they pull it tight. Gets caught in its own band.
What's the difference how you make a knot? What's the difference how you keep?
But you both,
Okay,
right?
so-
It has to be a knot.
So he said that if he said we go be mean isim kesher al the base al the lulav should take an ech la say khashini one to the other one the freezer take the machine leishin the zen ech of the kesher shall kayom shall khiyab all of the shabbos. This is a kesher shall kayom. So he wants to say, so he's saying for sure he's going to say this is a kesher, right? He says zip ties is a kesher. Because I don't know, other places going to say zip ties is not a kesher. Are they going to say that the lulav ring is also?
Here it is for it to last 8 days. Here, that's your intent.
Right, but it's for the first question is it a knot? If it's not a knot, so we don't care how long it's going to last for. I'm saying the patient we're going to be matir, we're going to be matir zip ties. I'm saying maybe they'll be matir this also. I mean he's the only person I saw discussing.
Those that are saying matter zip ties are only if you're using it as a temporary thing, not if you're going to make them a permanent thing.
The twist ties, the zip ties. No, people say something. No. We have in, who's not the Shemir Shabbos Gilchel sign. He says in Shem of Yasha. This is in the 5th Maramakim. I didn't see anyone else talking about the lulav rings, but he talks about the zip ties. He's talking about in the hospitals when they put on the bracelets and they clip on in a way that and that you can't take it off. So he says it's okay. He says ulam satin these I guess what's satin identity tags. Shesikirasam hi al yidei me'ein kafter. You have like a type of button. Hanilchutz b'eifin she'efshel hasidim min hayad. Believe the kriyas hasavet in a way that you can't take it off without tearing the band. So to the zip ties, their backwards teeth, they get trapped one against the other. So and you can't take it apart. So you're allowed to use it. And he says in the order he says so it's not similar to tefillah, and also the kesher you and it's just like the pacing amount they're using a safety pin. So too
He
this is
doesn't give a
also
reason why. He just says, this is but doesn't say why.
right. He's not even
That's
addressing
good
question.
enough.
Huh?
Good enough.
I'm saying this.
Yeah, if you want to find a term, you can find plenty.
Yeah, I found.
Saying, the reason is pretty clear. It's not you're not tying a knot. A knot is you're twisting ropes against each other. I'm saying you're tying something out here. It's just clicking into place. I'm saying it's connecting Legos one to another. Also kesher because it's strong.
What is the Ha'ara is talking about tefillah, not kesher.
Right. Yeah, he's talking about safety.
Maybe you want to be asked because of tefillah. So we said we're not even asked
but it
because
is.
of tefillah.
It's pashatim. It's not a kesher.
It's pushing on a kesher, and then it's also not tefillah. Why would I think it's tefillah to begin with?
So
It's
this.
more kesher than tefillah, but anyway.
So Shmir Shabbos Gilchel says Michael, he's mounted to use these zip ties. So the question is what you use them for. Sometimes the stuff you use them for could be together glina. Next question, what are you going to be using it for? But just connecting the two isn't, according to Shmir Shabbos Gilchel says, is fine. And the next side they get into is using neckties on Shabbos. So I don't know how to make the necktie. Apparently if you pull the end out, it falls apart. No?
Yes.
There's 3 colors.
So, 3 ways of tying a necktie.
Yeah. Singles, elbow, Windsor. But they're all the same concept. You pull them, it comes out.
But the double winter, when you pull out the small end,
It falls apart.
will?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Double winter, I think, will stay. It'll stay.
And you don't know how to make a tie.
Do we have a tie?
Windsor comes out.
We have a tie.
All of them come out if you know how to make a tie properly.
Okay, if you don't know, then you're brown.
Then you have a problem. And then you made a knot.
So Shmir Shabbos Gilchel, you want to say it's considered like a aniva. He says the same type of knot. It's just like tying your shoes. It's aniva on top, like aniva on top of a kesher. He says it's okay if it's for less than 24 hours. And if it's for less than 24 hours, he says if the derech is to leave it for more than 24 hours, then you should make it before Shabbos. This is in the 6th Ma'amakim. He says mutalani danivo. It says it's okay to make a necktie on Shabbos, lokesha b'Shabbos, in darke the pesach kol yom. If the derech is that he unties it every day after he wears it. If the derech is not to untie, undo it, redo it every day, he leaves for more than 20, he leaves it for more than a day. He should take it for Shabbos. So you should type it for Shabbos, and then when he puts it on, he'll adjust it then. They shouldn't open it, shouldn't undo it on Shabbos. That's what he says about in regards to neckties.
Shouldn't what?
You shouldn't undo the knot. You shouldn't take it
If he
apart.
never opens it, so then he shouldn't start doing it on Shabbos.
Yeah. If he leaves more than 24 hours, then he should do it before Shabbos. And he shouldn't take it apart on Shabbos. It's like the Kesher Shel Kayam if he leaves more than 24 hours. And there's so next this isn't this is already going a little more off from Kesher Matter. The question comes up, if your shoelaces fall out of the hole, could you put them back in on Shabbos? Is there any issue putting it back in, or you know what? Also the hoods, sweaters, they have the strings out and there's a knot at the end. So the knot gets undone and it slips out.
Very sharp by kids.
So the string slips out. Could you pull the string back through? So there's three issues. So it says inserting a string in a place where the derech is to make a knot at the end of it. It's also midrabanan, even if you don't intend to make a knot, because you might come to make a knot. So if the string falls out of the hood, so to pull the string back through the hood is also midrabanan, because you might end up making a knot, even though you intend not to do it. That's one issue. Second issue that comes up, putting shoelaces or a string back in, is that if it's a new beged, like a new shoe, and it never had a shoelace inside of it, is an isser, of masakin mana, that you're making it a complete clean now. You're making a complete shoe. Before it wasn't a complete clean. This is an issue only with a new shoe. You have a new shoe that didn't have shoelaces inside, and you put the shoelaces inside. So once you put the shoelaces inside, you completed the shoe. That's the second issue that comes up. The third issue is that if it's hard to get the shoelace inside, if it takes a tirchon, or let's say the end of the shoelace broke and it's wide, and it takes you a minute to get it back through the hole. So that also, even if it's an old shoe, that could also be masakin mana. That's also an issue of tikkun clean. We'll read it inside what the Alter Rebbe says. This is in the 7th Makim. Nishmetu later tsuis mino v'sano. If the shoelace slipped out of your shoe, mutal achzilim kaiman, you're allowed to put it back in. Ubavash lo yasei kesher b'reishar tzuah. As long as you don't make a knot at the top of it. Kidei shlei tishamet min hanekev. In order that it shouldn't prevent it from slipping out. Ikneshu kesher shel kayama. It's a kesher shel kayama, and that's why you can't make it. And by medvarim amurim that you're allowed to do this, in a place where it's not the custom to make such a knot. In a place where it's a derech to make a knot at the end of the string when you pull it through, it's also afil lahachzir gzeir shem hikshar. If the derech is to make a kesher kayama, it's also to put back through. If the derech is to make a knot, so pulling the strings back through the hoodie would be an issue. Fine, then the next thing Alter Rebbe goes into, the second paragraph. Even a place that's not the derech to make a knot, only to put the string back in after it fell out. But a new shoe, it's also leaking here to Shabbos, but a new shoe to put the shoelace in is also because you're misakin clean. You made it a shoe now. Till now it wasn't a complete shoe. It wasn't ready to wear. So, but if it's an old shoe, it's okay to put it back in if it slips out. So now it goes into the next issue, and even to put the shoelace back into the old shoe after it slipped out, to put it back in the hole. Only if it's a wide hole and it's easy to stick it back through. It's not hard work. But if it's a very narrow hole, and it's hard to pull the string back through, what's
taka the chilek between a big hole and a small hole?
Because
It takes longer, so what? But
since
either it's masakin keli or not.
Because it's a tircha, it's. I think the Prima Godin gave this answer. Once, since it's hard to put it back together, it's like it became ice clean once it fell apart. It lost the same clean, and since it takes another avida to make it usable again, it's like you're fixing it again. Till now, it's like it became broken, it fell apart, and once you put it back in,
fell off and you put them back on.
No, that's not the same.
Why not?
Because that's baina.
Yeah, so it's a more extreme case, but yeah, it's a more.
That's breaking it.
So what?
You
It's
can't
the
open the door, you can't tie
idea.
the shoe.
It's the idea. It's not the.
So, so if it's the idea, then it's not over here, it's like in Kaylee, it's a brainer.
Okay, call it whatever you want.
What's the point? They're
Yeah.
taking,
I'm
they're
looking for a
handling,
head,
pushing it
but I'm
in.
looking
They
for a
push it in
header.
It's
What's
not happening.
um,
It was very clear.
what's interesting? The Shaila come in this you have a clue from Chaim, a kula from Chaim. No, the question is, what if your shoelace tears on Shabbos and you want to put in a new shoelace? So it's an old shoe, but a new shoelace. Could you replace the shoelace on Shabbos?
That would go very easy. That would go very easy.
I'll go right. But is it misakin? Is it tikkun mana? So the Mishnah brings down a chumrah from the Eli Rabbah that even if it's an old shoe, but a new shoelace you can't put back in. He says it's a tikkun mana. It's a new, even though it's an old shoe, but it's a new shoelace. Chaim knows mekel. Chaim no says he can be mekel. He says if it's an old shoe, even putting in a new shoelace is okay. He says because the shoe is already a shoe, the shoelace already had a shame kli. He says you're not. He says everything's. He says it's okay. And whatever, yeah, whatever. It's late, so we'll go on here.
If you can use the old shoelace somewhat, then there's no reason to change it. You just have it half broken.
What are you saying, even
For
whatever?
once.
Should I know? Yeah.
You tie two holes.
For the first,
For convenience, you want the whole shoe. But that is you could really just tie two holes. It's not like the shoe really fell apart. Sometimes people walk around with them, they shoot the string tear, so they slide it over, and they use the rest.
It sounds like the Eli Rabbah is saying it's tikkun kli because it's a tikkun kli for the shoelace. Since the shoelace never didn't have a shame kli because he didn't put it into a shoe yet. So now when you're putting the shoelace in for the first time, it's a tikkun kli on the shoelace. What? Chaim doesn't. He says.
Sold in the package.
He says a string already has a shame kli. Once you already made a shoelace, even before you use it, it's already a shame kli. It's already.
Some people
That's
use
what he
it for other
wants.
things.
Yeah. So that's.
Mr. Legato.
Say there. So on here.
That's it. Number 10 is nothing.
It's more about Mekaimis, but it's okay. We can go.
What
So
is that talking about?
I just said 8 and 9, and we said we did outside.
Yeah, but what's 10?
So 10. The discussion in 10 comes up about where if you buy, saying when it comes up a mice in the shayla when you buy gloves or you buy a pair of shoes and they're tied together, is there issue breaking it apart? Or also different tags you have on clothes. If you're pulling off tags.
Dry cleaning.
Right. So not getting the things which are sewed on, like dry cleaning, it's stapled on. So that might be an issue of teifa korea. So stay away from that. But just regular tags, which isn't sewn on. So is there issue of misakin money if you buy a new garment? So the shit of Alter Rebbe is that as long as it was put on before, if this thing was put on before it was completed, like let's say, I'm not sure where do you have it on suits. Sometimes you buy suits in the flat. They're connected over here. I'm not sure when they do that. They do that after they made it or while they were still making it.
What do you mean?
No, that was done after. Probably. After the suit
do
was
that.
done.
They do that after when when it's connected in over there.
After the flap is all done, after everything is done, you'll stitch it, and it's not a permanent.
Done from the shipping to the event.
Custom suit is done before. You're doing mass production is after.
Okay, so
It's all stitched together because it's still floating in the air and it's fitting it.
Custom suit, they don't even
And they
do
already
it.
have that in place.
Custom suit, they don't do it.
They have to have it floating.
okay, so fine. So whatever that is, kavanah. The Chiluk Alter Rebbe says depends when they did it. If they did it before the garment was completed, it didn't have a shein beged yet. It wasn't, and they put this on. So once you cut that piece and you're making it wearable, so then there's ism sakin money. But if the thing was tied on after the suit, whatever you're buying was already wearable, but they just put on a tag afterwards, or they already made the shoes, but just they tied the two shoes together, so that there's no issue breaking it apart because it already had a shame kli beforehand. So it's not you're not making it a kli now. It already was a kli. That's Bekitzer the Rav Alter says in number 10.
Dry cleaning.
So dry cleaning, that's getting. So there's no issur of misakin money, but there might be an issur of kirei. I'm not sure. I didn't look into that yet.
Bending staples.
What?
Bending the staples also.
To take it out. So it's
What's wrong with leaving it there?
A lot of
According to a lot of people, it's bottle. You don't. It has no worth to you. It's nothing. So
You don't
leave
want it.
there.
It depends if you want it there. Or not.
Doesn't make. You're saying it's a mind thing.
so this is
You
so
leave a
with,
bottle in
with
and
the
that's it.
staples, the are a lot of the all the places who go to Mishnah Berurah say taking out the staples is fine because not shal kayama, but I'm not sure. According to Alter Rebbe, I think that it might be a problem. I didn't get a clarified in this yet. I'm not sure.
You don't want it.
If you don't remember it, if you don't remember it on Shabbos, you don't remember that.
Right.
Let's see it next time. Put it on before Shabbos next time.
It probably depends where it is, where there's haggis or something.
It's like if you
nothing.